man was trembling all over. He opened a bullet with a knife. Then he poured the gunpowder onto a wooden board. He grabbed some nearby dry branches. He broke them into small pieces and placed them beside the gunpowder. He opened another bullet. He aimed the primer toward the pile of gunpowder. Then he picked up the knife from the ground, trying to strike the primer. But because of the cold, his hands were trembling, which made it impossible to hit the primer accurately. So he lifted the primer with a stick, then struck the knife handle with a stone, successfully igniting a flame. Worried that the flame would go out, he kept blowing air onto it. Meanwhile, the enemies behind him kept tracking him, so as soon as the fire stabilized, he immediately took off his soaked jacket. The gunshot wound on his left arm hurt unbearably. He grabbed a bag of wine. He took a big gulp, then he poured the remaining liquor onto the wound. He put a strip of cloth in his mouth. He took the knife and cleaned it, trying to remove the bullet. Finally, the bullet came out with blood. I can't even imagine how much it hurt, but this was only the first step. Then he put the knife into the fire. He bit down on the cloth strip again. He pressed the hot blade against the wound to disinfect and stop the bleeding. This time the pain made him faint. Meanwhile, the enemies were approaching slowly. He sensed the danger, and he immediately left the place to confuse the enemies. He left many fake footprints, then erased his real tracks with a branch. But halfway through he realized it was pointless. This couldn't really fool the enemies. Seeing a big tree nearby, he came up with a new idea. Meanwhile, the enemies found the freshly extinguished campfire. They decided to split up, which was exactly what the man wanted. He hid in the tree and saw an enemy approaching alone. The man became nervous. Suddenly the enemy stopped. He noticed the footprints in the snow. He stopped and looked around. Finally, he looked up. The man in the tree panicked. Thanks to the leaves, the fat man didn't see him. Just as the man sighed in relief, blood dripped onto his hand. Then it fell onto the snow. The fat man finally realized he was in the tree. The man killed the enemy. But due to the excitement, he fell from the tree, landing right on the fat man's body, so he didn't suffer serious injuries. He quickly took the weapon and clothes from the man. He had to get rid of the body quickly. He could feel the others approaching. Just as expected, the remaining bounty hunters soon arrived under the tree. Everyone was shocked by what they saw. It turned out the man had put his hands inside the fat man's belly to warm them. The man had already left the forest.